So the Warner Brothers Discovery sale / potential merger with other people is about to go ahead. So the deadline for bids is tomorrow. So that's pretty soon, obviously. And you read from the headline and also this, Saudi Arabia will bring back the Snyderverse. Impossible Warner Brothers Discovery deal. That's right, ladies and gents. Saudi Arabia is a potential buyer of Warner Brothers Discovery. I hate that. I hate that massively. I think we have far too much influence from the East in our Western civilizations, be it from religious fanatics or otherwise. It's far too much. So I hate this massively. I really, really, really do. Now, there's a few reasons why this is sort of, done the rounds on rumours. Zack Snyder's been posting a hell of a lot of images lately, and he's been slowly ramping it up. Now, I don't actually think, personally, there's any weight to this. I don't. I really don't think there's any weight to this at all. I think you'd only have to have a look at the box office totals. I'm not saying that they were worse or better than the current DCU. It's not what I'm saying. But you'd only have to have a look at the box office, the profit and loss, which a buyer would do. They would have access to the financial details of all of this. And I just don't think they would do it. I also don't think an about turn, a quick heel turn would be successful enough. To me, it just seems like a non-starter. But it's an interesting thing to entertain. And more broadly, we're looking at whether Saudi Arabia buying Warner Brothers Discovery is a good thing or not, which I really don't think it is. I don't like it. I hate it. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my jam. Full open bias against Saudi Arabia owning Western things. It's not my thing. I'm not about it at all. Hate it. So let's take a look. Hit subscribe if you're new here and all that good stuff. Let's take a look. So they say that there's a Christmas deadline. I'm pretty certain the final bids have to be put in tomorrow, 20th of November at the time of recording this. It's nearing for Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav to decide if the company will be sold in part or in whole, and if so, to whom. Surprisingly, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has become a recent contender. Now, sources tell Cosmic Book News that along with all of the valuable Warner Brothers IP, Saudi Arabia wants the Snyderverse, apparently. And this also follows the White House being like, guys, there's a $1 trillion investment in the US from the Saudis. It's like, right. Brilliant. Brilliant. I think that's dog shit. Why would anyone be happy with that? Why? But anyway, as this article notes, for weeks, Zack Snyder's been posting pictures from his time at the DCEU on his Instagram. Could he, as Cosmic Book News suggests, be building momentum for the return of the Snyderverse brought to us by Saudi Arabia? I doubt it, personally. But he has been doing it a lot. So, on November 4th, Snyder ignited speculation when he shared a picture of Henry Cavill in costume with the caption, 4x5 Polaroid rare colour. I love this photo. It is pure Superman. So, this is the post. This is what he shared. And it's a good photo. It's a good Polaroid. It just is. So, rumours are circulating that if Warner Brothers Discovery is sold, James Gunn may no longer be in control of DC Studios. Now, he will be up until his contract is up. They can't get rid of him. I don't believe there's a mechanism by which to get rid of him until his contract is over. But it is over next year anyway. Or it was over in 2027. One of the two. Basically, by the time a deal was finalised, James Gunn's contract is up. So the most recent Superman movie struggled to build momentum for the new DCU. While a small but vocal fan base for the Snyderverse remains, many of them may feel that since the release of Snyder Cut social media campaign was successful in getting Warner Brothers to fund his version of Justice League, anything is possible. And you had this comment here from a Twitter user, are you all ready? Restore the Snyderverse. November 17th trend. Are they still banging on about this? Fucking hell, man. Honestly. For fuck's sake. Anyway, so Snyder does have connections to Saudi Arabia. It's interesting for someone that's... Yeah, alright, that's interesting. Hypocrites, everyone. Last March, the director signed a deal with the UFC to produce Brawler. One of the executive producers is Turki Alal Sheikh, who is chairman of the General Entertainment Authority in Saudi Arabia. If anyone has access to the funds to buy Warner Brothers Discovery and bring back Cavill, Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck for a Snyderverse reunion, it's probably Alal Sheikh. Thing is, Henry Cavill's busy with Warhammer. So I doubt he would come back, to be fair. I mean, he might do. Like, I'm sure he'd be happy to. But he is really quite busy. I mean, Highlander's been put on hold. He's doing his Warhammer stuff. It's busy time for Cavill. So the original source adds, we're told that Hollywood as a whole is also signing massive new deals with the Saudis, including Trump, which we've seen anyway, and figures connected to Trump's circle, like his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. The kingdom wants major entertainment assets, major franchises, a massive theme park IP, which they have. They've got like Disney stuff out there now. I just think this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. Them owning stuff is a bad idea. But whatever. Warner Brothers Discovery also owns fantasy mega properties like Harry Potter, Dune, Lord of the Rings. No Saudi Arabian should own Lord of the Rings. A distinctly European, well, distinctly English, actually, title and property. No, no, no. Which properties any studio would undoubtedly like to have those under its umbrella for films and theme parks. DC Studios, even if it doesn't return to the Snyderverse, may be the crown jewel for Saudi Arabia, depending on the kingdom's long-term goals. So, why is it unlikely Saudi Arabia could restore the Snyderverse? When news first broke about Saudi Arabia's interest in acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery, there were conflicting reports as to what role it would play. Hollywood producer Patrick Caliguri claimed that the kingdom was about one signature away from buying the studio outright. However, Matthew Belloni at Puck floated the idea that Saudi Arabia would only be backing Comcast's bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. So, sort of owning it by proxy, I guess. So, another reason fans of the Snyderverse may want to hold off celebrating a deal. Warner Brothers Discovery Saudi Arabia is an added claim from Cosmic Book News source. According to their information, Christopher Nolan is also set to return as executive producer of a future Snyderverse project. Without confirmation from anyone involved, some might say this is too good to be true. I mean, I'd just say this is all bollocks, but whatever. It is what it is. I don't think this is the case. But more broadly speaking, you know, looking at it from the perspective of Saudi Arabia might buy one of the biggest film studios in the Western world, I think that's a disaster. You know, that's a conversation piece unto itself. That's awful. That's a horrendous thing. I don't think that they should own those IPs. I don't think that they should have such a say in... And I'm not saying that Hollywood has done any better, but undoubtedly Saudi Arabia would also be injecting a form of narrative control in the properties that they release. And I think that's really bad. You know, you want Europeans, Western, Anglosphere, whatever you want to call it, in control of these IPs, which are producing media for the Western world. Right? Yeah, sure, other places consume it. But no. And again, I'm not trying to say that Warner Brothers Discovery has done any better. I'm not trying to say that. Because they have had some dog shit stuff. But Saudi Arabia? Jeez. Nah, mate. I'm not about that at all. I think it's a dreadful idea. So leave your thoughts down below. Bye-bye now.